Yay! This is Wednesday, August 19th, not October, which apparently I said on my other video, because I had people post a comment on there like, it's not October. Mornings. And so this is what you'll get a chance to watch at home. So if, to say, you were to go home and hit the big YouTube button, you would get to watch yesterday's version of this, which is like today's version, but different. You keep hassling me. It's going to be a long video. There's so much fun. Did you get your name on there?
Yeah.
All right, put your name tag on top of your picture, and you're going to put it on my desk, which is like your desk, but farther that way. All right, back to you guys from here. You guys have the pictures. All right, those two of you who... Forgot to unfreeze the computer. All right. Those of you who are still needing to send me pictures, and for those of you who are doing the home version, who still need to send me pictures, I changed things because I realized kids kept sending me like emails, and some kids would send me 5 emails with a separate picture in each email. And I don't think you realize when I have 50 kids doing that, how much work that is to go open, select, copy, open new file, paste, resize, go. Next picture, open, resize. I started strangling children. I just had them line up, so I'd be like, and then throw them away. Go to the next. Because of that, I changed things a little bit. So what I have you do is, if you need me to print pictures for you, which 2 of you do in here, you are going to go and find your 5 beautiful pictures that you like, and you're going to save them into one place. And then you're going to do this thing called a picture collage, which I've heard they use on this magical place called Instagram. And what you're going to do is take your 5 pictures and put them into a picture collage, and then you save that, and then you send it to me. Preferably, if you can find a way to put your name on it, that's even better and makes me happier. And so you just put those 5 pictures together, and then you email it to me, and then I will print it off, and I will give it to you, and then you will be good to go. It's because in the process of me going through and getting ready to strangle children, I was on my 5th one for the day, when I got to this one that a kid emailed me, and this Skylar child, who is now my favorite kid out of 158, because all of a sudden I realized I don't have to kill children. He came up with an idea for me that I'm now going to steal forever and ever. And he was the first one to send me this. I was like, I can stop strangling children. So this is what you are going to do. Create something like this, email it to me, and then I can print it off and make your life easier. Questions from the 2 of you? No, because the rest of you guys have yours. Yay! So you guys can go ahead and start finding pictures while I'm talking, and then going savey, boomy, boomy. But Mr. Brovicast, I don't know what your email address is. Oh, if only it were right in front of you that you could then figure it out right there if you were to look at the screen while I continue to babble, because I'm going to move on in a moment. Or you would just know it's the first letter of my first name and then my last name. My first name is DeBomb. So it's D. Brovicast, and then at hse.k. My parents are just awesome. It happens. So it's DeBomb Brovicast. So there. All right. Those of you who were here yesterday and or went home and watched the video, you would know that we have all this information in there, the class names that you have for the assignment coming up. I'll keep going through and doing all of the class names and stuff like that. So if you don't have all the names, keep paying attention as I say kids' names. Because I'll be doing it more again today. Plus, you're going to be getting into groups here shortly, which will help you learn even more names, and then hopefully we'll get you from there. When is this assignment due? Monday. Nicely done. So hopefully that helps you out from there. It's a long year, Natalie. There's so many more fun ways to
Do I get until Tuesday?
Absolutely not. Because if we'd been responsible, what would we have done yesterday?
Watch the video.
I just praised over Lamb McKenna. Yes. McKenna's even done it. Go home and watch the video. I'm tired of hearing about it. Yes. That's why I don't have to do that, because I put it on YouTube for kids to watch. You should be like, I missed yesterday's class, so I get an extension. The answer is, no. I'm responsible. Watch the video. But I didn't. I know. All right. So we're good to go from there. Let's do this. Your handout that you're looking at on the screen. We're going to go through and talk about that real quick. Did I get a chance to start talking about any of this with you guys yesterday? I don't know what's going on. Okay. What you're going to be doing is your 5 pictures. You're going to be getting together into a group, and you're going to be creating an adorable poster thing looks like this. You're going to have, that's why I said that your pictures can't be humongous, because you have to share this with other people. It's going to have your face on there. I'm going to take a picture of you and your group. You're going to put pictures of you on there. It's going to have your name on it. And then these are going to go out in the hallway for everyone in the school to see. That way, other kids can come up there and see these pictures of things that you like, and see your face on there, and see your name on there, and it becomes like a gigantic friend board. And they go, ooh, I like monster trucks and My Little Pony too. And they can see the things that you like, and then they're going to see your name, and then they're going to see your face, and then they can come after you in the hallway. Oh, Mr. Brovicast, that's not a friend, that's a stalker. Whatever. And so, friend board, stalker hut, it's the same thing. And so you're going to have random kids who now get to come up and talk to you because they're going to know information about you. Yay. The other part of this is well, let's back up. I like it when teachers have kids stand up and talk about themselves at the beginning of the year. You've now learned about me for the past 5 days. So now it's time for me to learn about you as I start to learn your names and learn how much I like you. The more I find out about you, the more ammunition it gives me to attack you for the rest of the year. Mr. Brovicast, you would never attack. Shh, yes. So I need to find out stuff about you. But what I need to do is add stress to that, because you standing up and talking about yourself in front of the class is not stressful enough. So I have found a way to ratchet up that stress level. So what we're going to do is, instead of you talking about yourself, you have to interview another child. And you are going to tell us information about someone else in the classroom. And that way you can't just make stuff up, because you're going to have all this stuff about someone else. Mr. Brovicast, do we get to pick the person we interview? Of course you do. As long as you pick the person from the group I put you in. Do we get to pick our groups? Of course you do. As long as you pick the group I put you in. If not, then you chose poorly. And so you get to choose that person that is either that you like the most in your group, or that you find least creepy. And I'm happy either way. What do you have to know for this information? That's where that thing in front of you comes in. You're going to have 2 parts on there: items for poster, and you're going to have to read that. It's called directions. I'm not going to go through all that with you. You're big kids. You can read words. Then the part where it says for your speech. I will run through that real quick just to make sure we cover it. This is what I need to know from you when you interview someone else. And you're going to begin the interview process today. We're going to start off with, you have to know the person's full name. First name, middle name, last name. Some people, though, culturally, they don't have middle names. You have to tell me that. You can't just be lazy and go, their name is Joe Johnson. I'm like, do they have a middle name? I don't know. That doesn't work. You have to tell me, their name is Joe Johnson, no middle name. I'm like, oh, then you did your work. Other people, they have multiple middle names. You have to give me all of their names. Joe, Joey, Joe Bob, Bobby Joe Johnson. And you have to give me all of those. Mr. Brovicast, I don't like my middle name. Guess what? I don't know what it is. Make it up. I'll have no idea. So if you don't like your middle name, you have free reign to make up your own name, because I'm never going to know the difference. Also, one of you in here is most likely interviewing the lazy kid. The problem is, I don't know which one of you is the lazy kid yet. But you're going to find out when you go, what's your middle name? And they go, oh. In that case, you're going to lose points because you have to give me that information. Mr. Brovicast, that's not fair. I agree. So here's what you get to do. If you're interviewing the lazy kid that refuses to give you the information, you get to make it up. So as soon as they go, oh, I don't know, Susie, you write down their middle name. If they don't want Susie as their middle name, they shouldn't be lazy. I have no pity for the lazy children. Next up, where they were born. You need to figure out where they were born. If you don't know where you were born, go home and find out and talk to the big people in your house. Be careful how you word it. Don't go, Mommy, Daddy, where did I come from? Because that's a whole other conversation that you might not be ready for. You just want to ask, where was I born? If they don't know, I don't know, then make it up. I wasn't there. I don't know either. So you can make up whatever you want. The only answer I know is wrong is Fishers, Indiana, because the hospitals in Fishers, Indiana have only been here for 4 years. So unless you're 3 years old, you weren't born in Fishers. So if the person that you're interviewing goes, I was born in Fishers, go, liar! Or you're a super baby, one or the other. So if you tell me Fishers, that means that you are lazy and I get to charge you points. Their birth date. Tell us when they were born. If you want to make up your birth date, that's fine. The problem with making up your birth date is if you make up a birth date, you might end up getting a birthday buddy. And you're like, I was born on January 25th. Another kid's like, oh, that's my birthday. We're birthday buddy. And now you have a fake birthday buddy, and you're like, every time like, high five, January. You're like, what? Oh yeah, I lied. And so just be careful that it's going to come back to haunt you because you're telling the whole class this stuff. Favorite subject at school so far? So you have to tell us your favorite subject. And it has to be something that you get a grade in. If you can't fail it, you can't choose it. Meaning you can't choose lunch, passing periods, or none. So it has to be something that a teacher can yell at you in. 2 hobbies. Things that you do for fun. This is another area where those of you who are interviewing the lazy kid, you're like, what's your hobby? They go, oh, I don't know. Well, if they don't tell you, what am I going to tell you to do? Make it up. You like chasing butterflies and rolling in the grass. You're a cat. So you just make up whatever their hobby is going to be. Now, for you, you can come up with your own hobbies, whatever it is that you think is interesting, because this is what we're going to find out about you. Speaking of which, the next thing on there is you have to come up with an interesting fact about you. Something that when they're telling us about you, we go, that's interesting. You have full control over your interesting fact. So if you're not very interesting, and your interesting fact is, every morning I like to have oatmeal, sometimes with a banana. That's not very interesting. You're not a very interesting person. I'm sorry to tell you that. Here's the good news. You can make it up. Well, I have no idea. When I was 4, I went on a field trip to Tatooine and met Luke Skywalker and told him who his father was. That's fine. You can come up with it like, well, that's pretty interesting. And so you can come up with it. We'll have no idea. More power to you. You're going to have to tell us the other person's pictures and adjectives that they came in with. So the pictures that they're putting on the poster, you just go through and tell us what those pictures are that are on there. They also have to come up with 5 adjectives to describe themselves. If you don't know what an adjective is, 1, that's scary. 2, Google, and then you can come up with words. Words to describe me. It'll say smart, tall, short, dumb, confused. And so you're going to come up with your words on there. So you're going to tell us the words and the pictures that are there. And let's see. Then you have to come up with a 5-word alliteration about them. So an alliteration is you have multiple words in a row all starting with the same sound. On there it says Louis loves to lick lollipops and licorice. It does not have to be true. For all I know, Louis has never actually touched lollipop or licorice. The idea is just you have that repeating sound over and again. You have to have at least 5 words with that sound. You can completely make something up, Bobby beat up babies because they were bad. For all we know, Bobby's never beat up a baby more than once. And so that's fine. You can just go ahead and make it up like, oh, giggle, learning. Then, choose any 3 of their favorites. This is my area to see if you can follow directions. Because kids never follow directions on this part because kids are dumb. What it is, you have to give me 3 favorites from that list. Not random favorite things. My favorite shoe size is 7. My favorite wall is that one over there. And my favorite continent is Canada. And so that would be fascinating and wrong. But what you're going to have to do is 3 favorites from this list. So a favorite movie, food, TV show, book, color, game. 3 separate things from there. And that's just my way to see which kids follow directions and which kids don't, so I can make fun of you. Not that I would ever do that, right, Jessica? Got my back, thanks. From there, you're going to have to go down there and do 2 of the following things that connect to... Yeah, I'm just going to keep taunting you. It just keeps me awake in the morning. It's fun stuff. Things that connect to your name. Interesting history of your name. Some of you have an interesting reason why you have your name. Others of you don't. For me, my first name came from my dad's best friend who died right before I was born. And so he gave me his dad's name as a way of sort of immortalizing his best friend. For others of you, yours isn't interesting. Your parents are like, I don't know, I saw it on a wall. And you're like, that's not so interesting. So if you have an interesting one, come up with it. Can we make up our interesting one? Of course. We're not going to know. We weren't there when you were born. So if you want to come up with an interesting history, more power to you. Or your first and last name in Pig Latin. If you don't know Pig Latin, that's fine. I'll teach you Pig Latin. If not, then I'm going to say Upenstay, R-A, Upenstay. And if you know Pig Latin, then you should be insulted. If not, then you just go, oh yeah. And that would be good stuff. And then the last part, what animal you would be and why, but it has to connect to the first letter of one of your names. First name, middle name, last name. So if your last name starts with a V, and you're like, I can't think of it, then don't pick that name. If your last name starts with a Q, then don't pick or Quail, either one. And so it's up to you. So come up with one. If not, use your middle name, but come up with it. And this goes back to the directions. You have to tell me why. So Pick an animal and then tell me why. Don't just say, Bobby wants to be a bear. Why? Is it because he wants to sleep? Because he wants to eat raw fish? He wants to scare people up trees? I want to know why Bobby wants to be a bear. So you have to come up with that reason and tell me why. Questions about any of that? What you're going to be doing here in a moment is I'm going to be getting you together into your groups. And so you're going to get together, then you're going to begin the interview process. Once you finish your interview, you're going to move on to working on the poster. And I have posters for you. In that case, you're going to send one person up to me to come up and get your poster. I have markers that you can use. And I'll put markers out for you. I have scissors and glue over here. But this class taught me yesterday that you are not to be trusted, because after you cut out your paper yesterday from your pictures, there were scissors on my floor everywhere. Because you are horrible, horrible children. So because of that, if you want to borrow my scissors or glue, you must leave a shoe over there. You take off a shoe, you can borrow my scissors or my glue. So take off shoe, leave it over there, and then you are good to go. And then you will start designing your posters. And then I will put example posters over there. I'm also going to come around and take a picture of your group. That's going to go in the middle. This little picture thing here, I'm going to come around and take a picture of the four of you together. So you just sort of lean in, and I'm going to go clickety, and then move on from there. I am also going to be taking an individual picture of you, where you're going to come up here and stand in front of the white screen, and I'm going to take an individual picture of you. The individual picture is for something else I'm going to do to creep you out many months from now. So that'll just be a whole other thing. Mr. Brovicast, I don't look good today. You guys never look good to me, so you're fine. So you're going to come up here and take the picture and be good to go from there. Oh, now let's put this in there. Mr. Brovicast, all this interview stuff, where do we write it down? Let's take care of that now. So we're going to put an entry in your table of contents on the homework side. Which side is the homework side?
Left.
It is correct. So this goes on the left-hand side. You're going to use today's date, which is, what is today's date?
August 19th.
Nicely done. August 19th. Homework assignment number 2 is going to be called Small World Notes, because these are notes for the Small World Project. Mr. Brovicast, that's so witty. I know, thank you. Then, what is our next available page number we're going to put this on? 3. Why not page 1? And why not page 2? Good job. Those of you, Gesundheit, I'll do it again. Those of you who have mastered counting, you go to page 3. When you get to page 3, what's the first thing you write in the top left-hand corner? No, but a good try. The date, which is like Small World Notes, but different. Let's play a fun game. Take your finger. Okay, put it at the top of your paper. Good job. Slide all the way to the bottom. Go to the right. What's that say?
4.
Good. Best game ever. See, aren't I helpful? You're scary and you're helpful. You're welcome. So, turn to that page for the directions, and the directions say, write down all your interview stuff here. I would make sure when you write it, it is legible and easy to figure out. If not, when you're giving a speech, you're going to go, I can't read my handwriting, and all we're going to do is laugh at you. So you're going to make sure that you can figure out all the information, or bad things are going to happen to you. Yay? Yay. In a moment, you are going to be moving seats most likely, because you're going to move to go be with your group. So once you have this information, leave this page open, because I'm going to give you a group number, and you're going to write the group number on this page so you can go and find it. For those of you playing the home game, we're done. I said